There's a childlike joy that comes from semen retention. And that's the best way I can describe it is it's like when you were a child, the world is fascinating to you. You just find moments of insignificance extremely interesting and extremely bright. I don't know how to explain it. I could say maybe it's like being high, but it's not even like being high. It's just seeing fascination in just little things, like little things that you usually would not think twice about. When you're on semen retention, you start finding yourself interested in just these little meaningless shit. And it's really cool, honestly. It's one of the coolest experiences. It's like you get to go back to being a child. I think that's why people like Christ would say stuff like be like a child. You have to be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. And I think he's saying something about semen retention, to be honest, because it is true. Like being on semen retention, I really don't know how many days I've been on semen retention. I don't really count the days. I did have sex at the beginning of the month, but I still do semen retention if I have sex. Like, so even when I had sex at the beginning of the month, I still was retaining my seed. So it must have been like, geez, I don't even know, 2 months maybe on semen retention. And now it's been pretty hard semen retention. There's been no sex, no masturbation, nothing. No wet dreams, none of that shit. And I'm just starting to become fascinated with just little ass things. Like little things are fascinating me. And I just found myself just like chilling in my bed with my lights off and just like laughing because this is so awesome. Like I just felt like a little kid again, like home alone, like in my bed, like in the dark, just having fun. Like the world starts becoming like an imagination. Like you're not thinking like, oh, this is so like the grind, this is so difficult, everything is so difficult, life is so gray and difficult and boring. I'm not feeling like that anymore. I'm starting to feel like I was when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old. Like shit is starting to become interesting again. Shit is starting to become fascinating again. I'm like, damn, is this what I've been missing like for so many years? I like lost my childhood thinking about sex, masturbating, trying to chase pussy all the time. When all I had to do was just retain my seed, I could go back to that childlike fascination for the world. Like things are fascinating the shit out of me. Like there was a cat outside my room yesterday, and I was just like looking at the cat for like 30 minutes, just fascinated by this cat. Like I've never seen a cat before. Yeah, it's kind of how it felt. It felt like I've never seen a cat before. I've never seen these things before. Like it feels like everything is new. Everything is fascinating. And I think when you do semen retention, you go back to that childlike place, because what are we doing as a children? We're not thinking about sex. When we're children, we're not thinking about when the next time we're going to bust a nut. We're not thinking about porn. We're not really thinking about masturbating. I mean, you might touch yourself when you're younger, but you're not like thinking about it 24/7. You're not like hyper focused on it. When you're a child, you're just kind of living in the world. You're not corrupted by drugs, alcohol, and sex, and you're just experiencing the world. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with sex, but I think that you need to get rid of this like over-sexualized mind. Like, get the fuck off of corn. I don't even know if I can say it in this video, but get the fuck off of that shit. That shit is one of the worst things you could do for your body, your mind, your soul, because you stop having that childlike fascination, that childlike joy, just looking at a cat and just being fascinated by a cat, like playing with a cat. Like, oh my God, look at it. It's like a little lion. Just looking like at its movements, playing with it. You know, these things become fascinating again. And I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy probably to a normal person who's not retaining. But if you're retaining, you're going to start to realize the childlike fascination with just meaningless little shit. Shit that doesn't have to do with money. Shit that doesn't have to do with gaining power. Shit that doesn't have to do with sex. Shit that's just meaningless and little. You start becoming fascinated with it. You start becoming interested in it. And I'm not saying this shit is easy. Like, semen retention is not fucking easy. It's discipline. But I think that's part of the coming back to a child. You're coming back to a child in a human, in an adult state. Like, you don't want to go back to actually being a child because a child has no discipline. But you're going back with semen retention. You're actually going back and you're experiencing being a child again, but with the discipline and the wisdom of an adult. And this is where you can really have the best of both worlds. You can be wise enough, experienced enough, disciplined enough to contain that child within you and cultivate that child within you and love that child within you and let that child expand and express itself. Because there is a child inside of you. I don't care how old you are. There's a child that's still inside of you that's sad and hasn't been allowed to come out for so long. And it's there. It's inside of you. It wants to cry. It wants to emote. It wants to have joy. It wants to play. It wants to experience life. It's there. You've just been suppressing that child. You've been suppressing that child suppressing it so much that you don't even really realize that that child is there anymore. And you're living in a life of misery and monotony and lack of interest in the world, lack of fascination. All you care about is money, power, sex, status, like blah, 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 blah. It's just these empty pleasures that give you a little bit of stimulation in the moment, and then they're gone. And then you're back to that feeling of dread, that feeling of hating yourself, that feeling of depression, and you just need more of these little hits of stimulation to fucking keep you alive. But when you're on semen retention, you don't need any hits of stimulation. You don't need anything. Like I was just saying, I was motivated to make this video because I was just sitting in my room on my bed, just laying on my bed with the lights off, and I just started laughing. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, I'm just home alone in my room. Like that feeling when you were home alone as a kid, like, oh my God, I'm home alone in the dark. Like, this is fun. This is scary. This is exciting. That's the feeling that I had. Literally, that's the feeling that I had. Like, I'm just a kid home alone in the dark, excited, scared. I want to have fun. I want to play a game. I want to make some shit up in my head, have some imaginary game that I play. Like, this shit is powerful. This shit, you're actually going back to a childlike mind. It's fucking crazy, to be honest. It's fucking crazy. You know how bright and exciting life was when you were a child? That's where you're going back to. Like, nothing could be better than this shit. Nothing could be better than this shit. I remember the exact moment when my friends actually lost their childlike state. Like, my friends went off to college, they started drinking, banging girls, and they came back and everything was boring to them. Like, they didn't want to play any games anymore. They didn't want to do anything fun or creative. Like, all they were talking about was like getting drunk and banging girls. Like, I'm like, damn, what happened to all the fucking like excitement and fun for life? Like, it seemed like everything just like left them, and now they're just like these shells of what they used to be. And that's kind of what happens to all of us when we grow up, and we just become fucking shells of what we used to be. It's fucking sad. We need to come back to that, what we used to be. We need to come back to that because there's power in that. There's fucking power in that, and there's joy in that, and there's fascination, and it makes life worth living, and you're not always trying to chase a fucking high to feel good again. So childlike joy and semen retention, it's fucking insane, guys. It's fucking insane. I'm starting to just enjoy little shit. And I'm still working. I still have discipline. I'm still working out. I'm still working on my job. I'm still doing everything necessary to maintain myself. But I'm just having little moments of fascination throughout my entire fucking days. It's incredible. It's incredible. It actually makes life worth living. Because it's not just all about the grind. It's not just all about, let me get this, let me get that, let me get her, let me get that. Let me get this status, let me get that girl, let me get this money. No, it's like, okay, I can have my discipline to be responsible, but I can also just fucking I can enjoy a fucking sunset. I can be fascinated by a cat or an animal or a little bug on the ground. Like, all these things can fascinate me again. So this is something to look forward to. This doesn't happen instantly. Like, I've been doing semen retention for a while now. I'm really just starting to realize these things. So you're going to have to go through a lot of fucking difficult situations on semen retention, but you're going to start to feel benefits like this. Semen retention is not fucking easy, okay? It's not a joke. I'm talking about all these things about being like a child again, but it's not a joke. It's not easy to fucking do this shit. Okay, you need a lot of fucking discipline. You need a lot of self-love. You need a lot of trust. You need a lot of trust that this is the right path and that you can do this. So it's not easy. I'm not saying this. I'm not making this video to make it seem like it's all fucking fairies and rainbows. It's not. There's a lot of fucking shit that comes out of you. A lot of dark shit. So you're going to have to be prepared for everything. This is just one of the benefits and one of the brighter sides of semen retention that you can look forward to. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll see y'all later.